In the late 1800s, Lake Contrary was said to be 8 to 10 miles long, a quarter of a mile wide, and 40 feet deep in certain areas. The large, crescent-shaped lake, called an oxbow lake, was formed when a tightly curved portion of the Missouri River was cut off and isolated from the main channel. Lake Contrary resident Sharon Smith moved back 21 years ago to be closer to the lake and the fond memories she had as a teenager. The lake had receded from what she remembered, but it was still viable and clean for the most part, albeit unpredictable in its water levels.
As a family, we spent a lot of time there. My dad and I used to ride the chute frequently. Everything was lights and glitz.
But when Smith looks out from the back patio of her home now, the area no longer resembles the once proud lake she remembers.
When we have our patio falling down into what used to be a lake and the wall getting weak because there's no water, it kind of gives you a different feeling of desperation.
The large body of water that was once Lake Contrary is essentially marshaling now, and as the prospect of dredging the lake and returning it as a popular recreation spot gains more steam than it has in years, renewed talks look to facilitate development that has eluded the lake for decades. In 1956, the future of Lake Contrary looked bright after the lake was dredged near the east shoreline. The goal was to dredge to the point where the lake started to curve west. It was clear by the next year, though, that more dredging would be needed to get the lake where they wanted. But between 1957 and 1988, numerous attempts were made by the county and supporters to raise funds to dredge further without success, largely due to concerns about costs, long-term sustainability, and at times, just bad luck.
We could not find the funding anywhere. It didn't matter who we went to, county, state. Even one of our board approached the city saying, could you loan us the money?
Over the last 4 decades, few have been as close to the lake as Calhoun, former president of the Lake Contrary Development Association. Oxbow lakes naturally fill in over time since they do not have a natural source of water, though the process could take anywhere from several decades to hundreds of years depending on a variety of factors. The installation of pressure relief wells and pumps were designed to feed water to the lake and try and keep it sustainable. But over the course of a century, silt buildup from river flooding and creeks has lowered the lake's level exponentially. Costs associated with maintaining pumps skyrocketed and became a heavy burden along the way as well. In Calhoun's eyes, consistently lower levels on the Missouri River for the last 20 years that have helped provide water to the lake and failed attempts to dredge at various points are two factors that have helped accelerate the decline.
Everyone was talking that, it's just being an oxbow lake. It's reached the end of its life, which is sad. If we got dredged, it could sustain itself.
A public meeting held by the county in March to discuss dredging options for Lake Contrary, the first serious traction in years, offers a glimmer of hope for Smith, Calhoun, and many others who believe the potential is still there. With a dredging price tag that could approach anywhere from $7 to $9 million, developing a sustainable and long-term plan around more than just dredging will be crucial for getting the community to buy in on plans for development.
There's got to be more work involved for that amount of money in order to get it back to where you can use it and, it stays full. It doesn't go without hope that, that something can't be done.
Cameron Montemare, News Press Now.